Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Ashley, I'm your real estate COO. And today we're going to be getting into how much cash do you really need if you're looking to make the move to Dubai and get into real estate. Okay, we're going to break it down today. Now, if you're thinking about making the move, one thing you need to make sure that you consider is your budget. You don't want to be moving over to Dubai thinking that you've got enough money and you realize that after 2 weeks that you're running low and you're having to book a ticket back to your home country. Now, I've got a story about somebody who actually did this. They moved over to Dubai. Within 4 weeks, they were back on a plane to the UK. So stay tuned to the end, watch right to the end. I'm going to let you know the full story and what not to do. Okay, so yes, moving to Dubai, think about how much money you're going to need. Most companies, they will ask you to show proof of funds, or they'll ask you, do you have X amount of money in your bank? Now, don't be scared, don't be alarmed, it's a normal practice. We do it, although we don't ask to show proof of funds, we do ask the candidates, do you have X amount of money in your savings account? Okay, so we're doing our due diligence. Now, in most cases, you're looking at £10,000 you should really have if you want to make the move to Dubai. Now, £10,000 is about 50,000 dirhams. So you always times by 5, okay? So the pound to the dirham times by 5. So £10,000, is 50,000 dirhams. Now, this is really the minimum that you're looking to have if you're looking to make the move. This will give you enough money to set yourself up, but also give you enough spends and daily spends until your commission starts getting paid. Now, again, my advice would always be, if you're looking to get into real estate, go into leasing first of all, because leasing will guarantee you money if you're doing the right things within the first 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, by that point, hopefully, 6 to 8 weeks, you're starting to close deals and commission starts coming in back into the house. So you're not having to spend all your savings setting yourself up and living. Okay, what most people do, the mistake they do is like, oh, I want to get into sales. I don't want to do leasing. I want to get into sales. They go into sales, but they don't realize is that probably takes 3 to 6 months before they start even getting offers on properties. By the time they've closed a deal, the sales cycle could be up to 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes more. So you're not getting paid any commission for a long time. By the time they do get commission, their savings are run dry, they're having to book a plane back home, or they're like, oh, let me go into leasing so I can make some quick money. By that point, it's too late. Okay, so my advice would always be, go into leasing first. I am going to do a video on this a bit later on down the line. Go into leasing first, get some money coming back into the house. You're not having to eat up too much for your savings. Okay, so £10,000 is what you're looking to move over. When I moved over, 11 years ago, we had to have £5,000. So it's gone up, obviously cost of living's gone up, the cost of everything's gone up since then. So it's now £10,000. So that's what you want to have. Now let's break down what you're going to be spending your money on so you can get an idea of what the amounts are. First of all, we're going to need accommodation. Now there's different routes that you can go down. Hotel apartments is the first one I'm going to talk about. Hotel apartments, they're easy. I would always, if you're going down a hotel apartment route, look at the location of where your office is and then try and base yourself around your office so then you're not having to travel a lot and it's just a lot less stress having to drive the roads and the traffic and the timings. So try and locate yourself near your office. With a hotel apartment, you're going to probably get a studio or 1 bed with your bills included, your maid service maybe once a week, and your parking. And obviously they come with all the bedding. So it's like you're staying in a hotel, but it's kind of self-catering. Now the prices, let's talk about studio first of all. In a low season market, so low season would be summer. So you're looking at kind of June to September, or end of September. So low season for studio, you're looking at between 3,000 to 6,000 dirhams a month. Okay, so 3,000 to 6,000 dirhams a month, all bills included, and parking. Fantastic. For 1 bed, you're probably looking at between, 7 and 10, depending on location and size. But again, all bills included, got your parking, move in with your suitcases, fantastic. High season, so we're now entering into high season now, it's September, so we're now entering into that high season. So high season, like September, October till like May. And you're probably looking at doubling the price. So if a studio's 3,000, probably looking at 6 to 7,000. If a one bed's, I don't know, 8,000, you're looking at doubling that price again. So that's probably normally what happens when it comes to hotel apartments. I did that when I first moved over. I got a hotel apartment, was meant to be there for a month, ended up staying, I think 3 months, because I've been traumatized when I first moved here, which I'll tell you the story later on down the line in another video. But I was traumatized when I first moved here. So I ended up going to a hotel apartment for 1 month and ended up extending for 3 months. And it was super easy for me. So that's hotel apartments. If you're looking at getting an Airbnb, again, you're looking at probably 10 to 15,000 dirhams a month, depending on location. And again, it's going to be fully furnished apartment with all your bedding and stuff. You just got to pay for your food. So it's that self-catering again. And again, you can go to, Airbnb website that you can look on to get some information on that. We also have, just so you know, my company, GTA Properties, we have a short-term holiday home department. So if anyone does need some help, pop me a comment below and I'll put you in touch with the right person. We have many different options from studios, 1 beds, 2 beds, and many different locations. So if you do need help with accommodation, please send me a message and I'll put you in touch with the right person. So that's kind of our Airbnb. If you're going to go down the kind of apartment share route, now there's a website called Dubizzle. I'll put all this information in the text below so you can look it up later on. So there's a website called Dubizzle, dubizzle.com, and it's like the Loot or the Gumtree back in the UK. You can buy cars, cats, dogs, ironing boards, sofas, you name it, it's on there. There is a section for private rentals where landlords and individuals can put their properties online to rent. And people put double rooms, single rooms on there as well. Now, if you're looking on Dubizzle, you can rent double bedrooms from, I'd say, 5,000 a month, dirhams a month. It's looking at about 1,000 quid. Bills included, normally includes a maid, sometimes parking, sometimes not. If you want to go one step below that, you can maybe rent a maid's room. So maid's rooms are normally single bedrooms. They're made for maids. They're normally single bedrooms. They're not very glamorous at all. Probably have a single bed, wardrobe, shower room. Sometimes they don't even have a window, so it's very, very basic. But you can pick them up for about 3,000 dirhams. So if you want to be frugal and extra careful with your money, maybe look at getting a maid's room in an apartment share. The most popular apartment share areas are Dubai Marina, JBR or Jumeirah Beach Residence, or JLT, Jumeirah Lake Towers. They're pretty much in a horseshoe shape in a very central location. Got other areas like downtown or Business Bay. Depending on where your location of your office is, you maybe want to look at either Marina end or downtown end. But either way, you've got options there for apartment shares. So that's when it comes to accommodation. Now, you're going to want to rent a car. I would always say from your second week of being in Dubai or being on the job, especially real estate, you're going to want to rent a car. I'm going to talk about car rentals in more detail, documents needed, what to look out for, make sure you don't get scammed. I'll go through that in another video. But in terms of spends, you're going to be looking at probably for an entry-level car, if you're looking at something like, and also guys, don't go crazy. Don't be moving here and renting G-Wagons or Lamborghinis. Don't be silly, okay? Let's be real. Let's be sensible. I would go either entry-level car, which could be a Kia Picanto, which is probably 1,000 to 1,200 dirhams. Or if you want something like a Kia Rio or a Yaris or something like this, a medium-sized kind of car, you're looking at between kind of 15 and 1,800 dirhams. I would say don't spend anything more than 2,000 dirhams a month. Maximum. Try and get it less. Okay, remember guys, it's all about conserving your money, saving your money until you're making money. Okay, don't be going crazy. So that's for renting a car. When I first moved here, I think I had a Kia Rio. But back then, I think I paid like 1,000 dirhams a month, which is super cheap now, considering these cars now are 1,500 to 1,800 a month. I was paying 1,000 dirhams. It humbled me. Okay, leaving the UK, I had a brand new Audi A3 and I had a Mini Cooper S. So leaving those cars behind and coming to Dubai and getting a Kia Rio wasn't quite the glamorous life I was thinking of, but it humbled me. And I actually grew to love the car in the end. So yeah, don't go crazy. Get something super simple and work your way up. You'll appreciate it so much more. So we've gone through accommodation, we've gone through car rentals, food. Okay, so food, again, you can actually eat for quite cheap. I would give yourself a budget of 100 dirham a day, 100 to 120 dirhams a day. So 20 to 25 quid a day you'll be looking at spending. Now, for that, you can get breakfast, lunch and dinner. Okay, there's many apps that you can download. There's one called Talabat. Again, I put all this information in the description below. You've got Talabat, which is an app for all sorts of delivery. You've got different restaurants on there. I would always go to the Super Saver section or the 50% off section to make sure you're getting the most for your money. Okay, so definitely do that. You've got Deliveroo. You've got different apps or food apps that you can download and that you can use. We have supermarket. There's one called Spinneys. It's like Waitrose or Tesco's back in the UK. And in Spinneys, they have a hot and cold kind of food counter. The cold counter's got all nice salads, cold meats. You can mix and match your salads. You can, have salmon, chicken, whatever you want to have. You can have this, and you can get a bowl for lunch. I do it every single day. I give myself a budget of 20 to 23, 24 dirhams a day. And that gets me a big bowl of kind of my meat, my salad, my chicken. I get a salad with it as well. You can mix and match, but it fills you up. It's fantastic. When it comes to the hot counter, they've got curries, they've got grilled chickens, they've got, oh God, spaghetti bolognese. They've got every single bit you can imagine for super cheap. And again, the grilled chickens are like 17 dirhams. So you can really, really eat well for less here. Don't be going out, don't be going crazy every night, going to restaurants thinking you've got to spend hundreds and hundreds of dirhams. Be sensible with your money. Because if you want to have longevity and you want to set yourself up in Dubai and you want to make this your life and your home, what you do at the beginning is going to set the tone for the rest of it. Okay, so spend wisely. Okay, spend 100, 120 dirhams a day will get you your food. Okay, so we've gone through accommodation, we've gone through cars, we've gone through food. Along with cars, you can looking at your petrol. Now, we're lucky here being in the Middle East because petrol's dirt cheap. I've got a Mustang GT, V8, 5 litre, and it cost me 100 dirhams, so 20 dirhams a week it cost me to fill up. Super cheap. Back in the UK, my Audi cost me nearly 100 quid to fill up. So that's 500 dirhams nearly it spent on just filling up my car. Here it's super cheap. Okay, so having a smaller, more practical car be probably 50 to 100 dirhams a week on petrol because you're a broker, going to be driving around every single day. So probably, I would say 100 dirham a week that you're going to be spending. So 20 quid a week you're going to be spending on your petrol. And sorry guys, I am saying pounds because I come from the UK and most of my audience is from the UK. So that's more relevant in terms of I can break down the pound to dirham. So I apologise if you're from anywhere else. So looking at, I'd say 20 quid a week, 100 dirham a week on your petrol. Okay, and I'm going to come into renting cars and all that kind of jazz in another video later on. So hopefully that's been a bit of help. So accommodation I've talked about. I've talked about your car rental, your food and your petrol spend. And then obviously you're going to have your everyday spends for yourself, for your beauty regime or whatever it's going to be. You can set the budget for that. But I've given you the main ones for you to consider. Like I said, go into leasing. I'm going to bang on about this all the time. Go into leasing first of all because you should be doing deals much quicker than sales. So hopefully that £10,000 that you've come over with, 50,000 dirhams, you're not going to eat into all of it. But if you are running low after the first couple of months, that commission should start kicking in. Before I go, I'm going to tell you the story about the broker that came to work for me that only lasted 4 weeks. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I mentioned about how we ask you for proof of funds, or do you have X amount in your bank? This is going back 6 years ago, and I interviewed this girl. I asked her, do you have £5,000, it was back in the day? Do you have £5,000 in your account for you to move to Dubai? She was like, yes, I do. Tick, fantastic. She came across really well in the interview, super bubbly, sales experience in the UK, and we gave her the job. She moved over, she started, everything was fantastic. She went through her week training with me. The second week she was on the floor. I noticed that second week she started getting a bit agitated. And she's like, I've got to get a deal. You know, it's really important for me. And I was like, do you know what? This girl's super into it. She really wants to get a deal. Good on her. The third week, she was really erratic. She was getting angry. She was super aggressive. And I was like, listen, what's going on? Chill out. Do what you need to do. Trust the process. It's going to happen. You're in rentals, so you should be closing deals in your next 4 to 6 weeks. She's like, no, I've got to do a deal now. You don't understand. If I don't, I'm going to have to go home. I'm like, what? Doesn't make sense to me, because we asked you in your interview if you had £5,000. And surely, unless you've been going out popping bottles every night and buying tables, you should have some money, right? She's like, can I have a meeting with you? And I was like, oh God, here we go. So had a meeting with her, sat down. I was like, listen, what's going on? She's like, I lied to you. I lied on my application. I was like, right, okay. She goes, I said I had £5,000, but I don't. I was like, right, how much do you have? She was like, I have 800 quid. I was like, 800 quid? I was like, how are you going to make anything happen with 800 quid? That's nothing. That's less than 5,000 dirhams. How are you living? How are you eating? How are you getting to work? She rented a maid room, so she rented the maid room, and at this time the maid rooms were like super cheap. I don't know where she was renting this maid room from, but anyway, she was renting a maid room, and she was pretty much walking and getting the metro to work. So it was just a nightmare for her. I was like, if I'm honest, it's not going to work for you, and if I were you, I would go home. With what money you've got left, I would use it to get a ticket back to the UK. So any other company probably would have, strung her along and said, you can make it work, you can do a deal, just keep doing what you're doing and it's going to happen. If you know me, when it comes to business, I don't mix my words. I'm always going to tell you the good, the bad and the ugly. And I was like, you've got to go home. Use that money and go home. So she ended up going home on that 4th week. I don't even think she made it to 4 weeks. I think she left before the 4th week ended. Because she had little money, she had to get an all-around ticket. So I think she had like 2 or 3 stops to get back to the UK. So I think it took her like over a day, 27 hours to get back to the UK. So a flight that takes 6 hours, 7 hours, took her over 27 hours to get home because she had no money. So that was her nightmare, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So don't lie in your application. Be honest, save up your money. Dubai's always going to be here. So if you haven't quite got the minimum amount, it's okay. Stay where you are. Save some more, and then come when you have the right amount of money, because you're only going to stress if you don't, and you're not going to enjoy the experience. And you're going to be like that girl, end up back on the plane back to the UK before you know it. Okay, so I hope this has been beneficial. I hope this has added value to your day. And if you're thinking about making the move, definitely do it. I'm going to put all the details in the description below. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Pop a comment. I'll get back to you. Please, if you like this video, or you like my page or my channel, give me a like, subscribe, and you'll be seeing me again very soon. Take care.